Hello everyone, welcome to Yellow Pages Nursing. Today's topic will be about hypokalemia under electrolyte imbalances. Well, before entering into the topic, if you have not subscribed our channel, please subscribe our channel. Let's get into the session. As we all know, the normal serum potassium level is 3.5 to 5 milliequivalent per liter. Hypokalemia is a condition where the serum potassium concentration falls below 3.5 milliequivalent per liter. Now, what is potassium and what does it do in our body? Potassium is both an electrolyte and a mineral as well. It is the major intracellular fluid cation, and it controls intracellular fluid osmolality and osmotic pressure. It also helps in regulating cell excitability. Potassium is the major intracellular electrolyte. In fact, 98% of the body's potassium is found inside the cells, and the only remaining 2% is found in the extracellular fluid. Potassium also helps in influencing skeletal and cardiac muscle activity. Other functions of potassium includes maintaining acid-base balance, conduction of nerve impulse, helping in muscle coordination, and maintaining blood pressure. Now, let's discuss about causes of hypokalemia. For an easy remembrance, the causes has been categorized under the mnemonic decreased, and it goes like diarrhea, excessive sweating, chronic kidney disease, refeeding syndrome. What is refeeding syndrome? It can be defined as potentially fatal shifts of fluids and electrolytes that may occur in malnourished patients who are receiving artificial feeding. Next cause will be excessive secretion of aldosterone. Hyperaldosteronism increases renal potassium wasting and can lead to severe potassium depletion. Next cause is acid-base disorder. Alterations in acid-base balance have a significant effect on potassium distribution due to shifts of hydrogen and potassium ions between the cells and the extracellular fluid. Respiratory or metabolic alkalosis promotes the transcellular shift of potassium. Other causes are suction, that is gastric suction, excessive secretion of insulin, and drugs. Drugs that lead to hypokalemia may be Adrenergics, example albuterol and epinephrine, Antibiotics, that is carbenicillin and gentamicin, Corticosteroids, Diuretics, example furosemide and thiazides, Insulin, and Laxatives. Let's discuss about the clinical manifestations of hypokalemia. For an easy remembrance, the general signs and symptoms is categorized under the mnemonic caution CCU and is as follows: confusion, anorexia, tingling and numbness, that is Parathesia, irregular weak Thready pulse, orthostatic hypotension or palpitations, nausea, skeletal muscle weakness, constipation, cramps in legs, U-wave prominent in ECG. Now, let's look into the system-wise manifestations. Cardiovascular symptoms include dysrhythmias, Thready weak irregular pulse, orthostatic hypotension, and palpitations. ECG changes in hypokalemia will be slightly peaked P-wave, slightly prolonged PR interval, ST depression, shallow flat or inverted T wave, and prominent U wave. Respiratory symptoms include shallow respiration, dyspnea, respiratory muscle weakness, where the patient may be tachycardic and tachypneic. Neuromuscular symptoms include skeletal muscle weakness, decreased muscle strength, deep tendon reflexes, paresthesias, that is numbness and tingling sensation, confusion, lethargy, and coma. Renal symptoms include inability of the kidneys to concentrate urine, causing dilute urine, resulting in polyuria, nocturia, and excessive thirst. Gastrointestinal symptoms include decreased motility or hypoactive bowel sounds, anorexia, nausea, vomiting, constipation, and paralytic ileus, which is the obstruction of intestine due to paralysis of the intestinal muscles. Laboratory findings may reveal decrease in serum potassium level less than 3.5 milliequivalent per liter and serum magnesium level, increase in serum glucose, 24-hour urine level, increase in pH and bicarbonates, and also digoxin level. Next is management of hypokalemia. It depends upon identifying and treating the underlying cause of hypokalemia, that may be diarrhea, acid-base disorder, etc. The other management may include oral potassium supplements, IV potassium replacement therapy, high potassium and low sodium diet, potassium sparing diuretic if needed. Magnesium replacement therapy is often necessary in malnourished alcoholics with hypokalemia. What happens in magnesium imbalance? The primary disturbances in magnesium balance, particularly magnesium depletion, may produce secondary potassium depletion. As a result, the cell loses potassium, which is excreted in the urine. Let's have a look on the IV infusion rate for severe or symptomatic hypokalemia. A standard IV replacement rate will be 10 to 20 milliequivalent per hour. If it is a moderate to severe symptom, or if the serum potassium level is less than 2.5 milliequivalent per liter, then the rate will be 20 to 40 milliequivalent per hour. If the condition is life-threatening, or if the serum potassium level is less than 2 milliequivalent per liter, then the rate is above 40 milliequivalent per hour. Nursing management includes monitoring vital signs, monitoring heart rate, rhythm, ECG tracing, monitoring mental status or neurologic status, monitoring electrolyte levels, monitoring intake and output, that is gastric, urinary and wound losses, which helps in calculating fluid and potassium replacement needs. Monitoring potassium infusion rate and IV site for complications like phlebitis, infiltration. Monitoring ABG for metabolic alkalosis usually associated with hypokalemia. Monitoring digoxin level, because a low level of potassium in the body can increase the risk of digitalis toxicity, which leads to slow cardiac conduction. Other nursing management includes positioning the patient, especially in semi-Fowler's position. Bowel movements. Helping with activities, that is, assisting patient with daily activities. Provision of exercises like range of motion exercise and deep breathing exercise. The main nursing diagnosis for hypokalemic patient will be risk for electrolyte imbalance. Hypokalemia may be related to diarrhea, vomiting, acid-base imbalance, that is alkalosis, renal failure, excessive sweating. This is all about hypokalemia and its management and the nursing responsibilities. If you find this video useful, please like it and please subscribe it, and do not forget to hit the bell icon. Thanks for watching and have a nice day.